Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? Ate one satisfying meal, topped it off with one measly dessert. Mr. Hodges speaking. Previously, there was a first segment to the rant on the Spongebob rants. Yes, these rants are directed to all the Spongebob rants on YouTube. This is the second segment. This might be the last segment too, since there's little else to speak of except these minor topics. These SpongeBob rants speak of the exact same topics in which every other SpongeBob rant has mentioned. It's irritating to hear these topics when they have been beaten to death and are too simple to speak of. The simplicity to these topics. These topics are too easy to copy off of. The level of these topics are too simple, which are brought up into SpongeBob rants. Seriously, anybody can talk about TV show characters, episodes, and old versus new. Those topics are level 0 topics. Heck, they may be level -2 topics. These topics are simple enough. All they need to do is talk about the episode, talk about the characters, the elements of each character, the elements of each episode, and the elements of new versus old SpongeBob. There's little else to say for these three simple, overused topics. Yes, these topics have been abused. These YouTube channels who rant SpongeBob rants, they can't rant. All they do is copy because they cannot come up with new topics which have not been spoken of. Those topics require more abstract thinking, most likely. There are many topics in which they do not speak of. The randomness in SpongeBob, whether it's older, quote-unquote, old or quote-unquote new SpongeBob. The endings to every episode. The ideas to every episode. The period. The order of events for the whole series. There are a couple other topics which are never spoken of. Cannot think of them offhand, not the tip of one's tongue, but the behavior of the majority of the rather minor characters in the background. The randomness in the background of SpongeBob. Yes, the randomness from each episode. The rushing, the speed of each episode. The laziness in the middle to end of each episode. The bailouts to each episode. The wasted potential to each episode. How useless each episode is. Those topics are not spoken of. It's those big three, quote-unquote, big three topics, and that's all. These topics are not teaching the viewers new information or new levels of thinking or new ways of thinking. They're learning, they're listening to the exact same information they heard in the other rants, which is becoming useless. And how on earth did these rants manage to blow up on YouTube? No other TV show has blown up this much. Not even Teen Titans Go rants have blown up this much compared to this one major TV show to Nickelodeon. How on earth is this one given this much attention on YouTube? All it is one modern day cartoon. It's all this TV show is, except it has ran longer than a majority of the other TV shows. What else is wrong with these YouTube SpongeBob rants? Whoever is ranting on SpongeBob, they're a bunch of fanboys. They will be offended whenever a bunch of viewers love the newer episode, several of the newer episodes, or hate on the older episodes, or do not agree with the characters. They will attempt to defend their case and fail. They're not lawyers. They don't know how on earth to defend their case. on why they support or do not support the episode or character or element of SpongeBob. They know nothing. All they know how to do is copy off other rants. They reworded the rants, and that's all. What else? They treat whoever copied off these SpongeBob rants and filmed and posted their own rants, they treat all the other older rants as if they were facts, which was one idea thought of by Mr. Duncan Burden in February of 2015, which is almost 2 years ago. These are not facts. These are opinions. How on earth is agreeing or disagreeing with one topic a fact? Facts are real pieces of information, whether enjoyed or not. These YouTube channels cannot think for themselves, and they cannot tell the difference between those two huge topics. Seriously, grow up and go back to class and start learning how to read and write. Go back to preschool. These rants are all done by middle school students, it seems. They cannot rant to save their own lives. The only reason why they're filming rants on SpongeBob because everybody else has been filming rants on SpongeBob, and also because these rants used to attract a decent amount of views compared to many other rant topics which are barely focused on because they receive little to no views at all. If there were no SpongeBob rants, nobody would be ranting on SpongeBob. Everybody's ranting on SpongeBob because the bigger rant channels did rants on this topic, and that there were enough rants on this topic even back in 2011. All these YouTube SpongeBob rants are a bunch of copies and rip-offs of all the others. They do not know the TV show well. They know the bare minimum of the TV show. They know what kindergartners know of video games. And all they do around is whine and cry, behave similar to a bunch of fanboys, and think they know more than a majority of the population. You do not know more than a majority of the population. You know as much as Patrick Star from SpongeBob almost. Take that, commoners. There's little else to say for this video. See you in the next video. Peace out. There may be a one-third segment to the rant directed to the SpongeBob rants. See you in the next video. This is Mr. Hotta signing off. Peace out. Good night. Bye-bye.